people, and that must stop. It has been mentioned in our group to say we have leaders that we need to look up to who are so devoted to make sure that COPE grows. You call them right in the bundus, they are there. But we cannot just have a one-party leader. We need to make sure that all leaders of Congress of the People are there and they are performing their responsibilities. COPE should not be seen as a one-party person. All of us must come to party as human resource. We must not in any way expose people who are so committed in working on making sure that Congress of the People grow. But we must support them. And when we live here, we need to make sure that we go and inculcate such kind of behavior to our supporters right in the ground in various structures. That human resource is what COPE needs. Financial resource. We said Congress of the People is not an organization that is well financially. And then it's either we agree to make sure that we pick up COPE or we just let COPE down by our conduct. And the only way to do it is to just watch and say, if COPE does not do this financially, therefore I'm not. We'll bid farewell to Congress of the People. COPE needs us. Where we stand currently, we are in ICU. And the sooner we accept that we are in ICU, the better. And make sure that we all have the financial systems in place to make sure that COPE is well financed, and we ourselves are able to volunteer our finances to Congress of the People by donations. And it has been said that, for example, the 200 rand that needs to be popped out. It is the 200 rand that needs to be popped out because Congress of the People need money. It is our party. And we need to make sure that we finance it. And the only way to do it is for us to commit ourselves financially to Congress of the People. In the other things that we discussed is that social democracy, the values that we need to talk about, we must live them on a daily basis. We must know that at the crux of Congress of the People is freedom, equality, solidarity. Freedom, equality, solidarity. If we are fragmented, we'll never attain our goal. We need to live these values. The other values that we looked at are the values of constitutionalism, that is the constitutional, reliability, accountability, and incorruptibility. These are the values that we need to make sure that we live on. They are strategically put at the sides because they are pillars of Congress of the People. Chairperson, we also have the hey, this technology sometimes can deal with you. It is dealing with me. I need a lesson. Okay, thank you very much. We have the following proposals as proposed resolution. We are therefore proposing that the Commission hereby recommends that the Congress should adopt the 5-year national strategy with the amendments made. Comrades will know that it is in their documents. They will have time to go and read it at home. The second one is that each province must develop its 5-year strategic plan in line with the national strategy, because provinces have challenges unique to their environments. And then the last proposal that we put to this is that political education must become compulsory for leadership and membership. That all of us need to make sure that there is political school wherein we'll be able to engage. I hereby present the proposed resolution by the commission that I so represents. Members of the commissions have rights to amend what I said that was not said by the group, or to add what I said, what I left out representing the group. I thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you, Comrade Eric. First, to start with, I just want an indication from the members of the group. Are you all satisfied with the presentation? That's what happened in your commission. It's confirmed. Okay. I'm going to ask first, because I want to suggest that we deal with a commission, we vote on what they resolve, and we finish it off. Then we move to the next commission. So I'm going to I want somebody to come here, to come and explain to the delegates here how the gadgets that you have operate. I don't want us to assume. For me, in particular, I don't think I know how to operate that thing. So please pay attention, those who have got those gadgets. It's going to be explained. It's going to be explained how you operate. Okay, over to you. Yes, sir.
Don't we have to ask questions first?
No, we are coming to that.
Is it?
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon, everybody. I hope you are well. So I'm here to explain this keypad to whoever has one. It's a really simple process. We are going to be having a result come up. It'll say yes, no, abstain. So you'll choose to vote on whether you agree, disagree, or you would rather not vote. Okay? In that process, yes will be 1, abstain will be 2, and then no will be 3. Okay, all you have to do is press 1, 2, or 3 for what you think is correct, and that's it. The results will come through to me. Okay. Thank you. Are there any questions? Yes, abstain.
Okay.
Yes, abstain. And no. So I'm going to show you a slide quickly, and then you can see. Thank you.
Hang on, let's just see the slide. Maybe your answer lies there. Okay. Please pay attention. I don't want to see the disaster that happened yesterday. Are we watching?
Okay, sorry, that was yes, no, abstain. So it's A for yes, or 1 for yes, 2 for no, or B, and C for abstain. Okay, so if you can see there, it says voted, and there are some people voting already. You guys can vote if you'd like to, so you can see how it works.
Voting on?
When you have voted, what will happen is your answer will come up in the screen, and it'll say OK in the top corner. And we know that your vote has come through then. So I also know we have about 150 people voting. So the target is to get at least 150 people on that voted register. Are there any questions? Is everyone okay with how the system works?
No, we don't vote now.
Okay. Thank you very much. Yeah, please just come through. If you haven't got one of these and you have a yellow armband, we need to make sure that you have one of these so you can vote.
Remember I said there's a small card in your plastic pack which has got 2 blocks on it. You must use that to be able to be provided with the gadget. So in the meantime then, comrades, I'm going to request that you go back to the proposed resolutions from the Commission. In the meantime. Now, comrades, there it was. The Commission has given us their report. Now I'm opening the floor for questions of clarity on what has been presented. You understand what I'm saying? Questions of clarity to what has been presented. Let me start this side and then go that way. You want that house?
Chairperson, for me, I mean, the resolutions I do not disagree with, but I find them a little bit vague. It's like everybody's job. Now, I was asking, can't we enhance the resolution? Yeah. Who must do the national strategy? Is it in the GS's office? Who must do political education? Because in terms of the Constitution, I think is the President's office and all that. So that when we put it there, then we can vote. Okay. It's like it's everybody's job for now, and everybody's job is never done.
Thank you. Something to say to what? Comrade, we have called people. We are not going to wait for people that we don't know where they are. Yeah, but which commission is that? No, it's not a commission. It's not a commission. It's a few people that have been selected to deal with that. So which commission is missing? No, comrades, please. Please, let's just be careful not to imagine things that are not there. All the commissions are here, with the exception of certain individuals that we have requested to go and fine-tune. Those people are not commissions, but it's a team of people that we have requested. All right? Now, there's a recommendation of the extension of of what the Commission has recommended from Comrade Papiki, that he says we must actually, when we do, we must actually assign also where the responsibility lies. I want your comment on that. It's not a vote, it's a comment. Vanita? Mike, please. We have noted your hands. It's on, if it's not on this one.
Thank you, Chair. I think for most of it, responsibilities are already assigned in the Constitution. Where it is not assigned in the Constitution, it will be assigned by the sitting CNC.
Okay. All right. Are we happy with that? let me help you. Comrade Papiki says, can you give us those recommendations from the commission quickly? It's here. So the commission has made 3 proposals, right? And they are going to reflect them there. There they are. Can somebody just move these banners a little bit so that the people on the table here can see? Right, those are the recommendations from the commission. Now, what the proposal that has been raised is that those be extended by adding as to where the responsibility would lie. Now, a response is that that type of an extension you will find in the constitution as well as in the strategy. It has already been assigned. So they are in the strategy. Comrade Fivers, I saw your hand up. Yes, I'm pointing at you. Before I move to the side.
Chair, I think a part of this is quite generic, and we didn't go into depth. So I think there was a little bit of confusion while we worked at this. I thought we're not finished as yet.
Yeah, but I asked whether the members of the committee were satisfied with the report, and the indication was yes. Everybody else said yes. So, yeah. But look. Rather than saying it's not complete, isn't it better that we should say no? At that point, this is what Then it helps everybody to see or understand what we are talking about. Okay?
Thank you, Chair. I think I concur with the last speaker. That was what I was going to say. That
yeah, please. Wait.
I think I concur with the last speaker. That was what I was going to say also, or I want to say. That it is a bit generic. It's supposed to give more details on how to do each character. For instance, if you talk of where they say this is supposed to be the character of the organization. When you speak communication, they need to advise us. Or let me put it this way, I wish the final document can bring more details to us so that we know how to communicate, advise us how to communicate the strategy. They say we must have strong alliance and partnership with the opposite parties. How are we going to do that as regions or as provinces? For instance, if we talk of the coalition arrangement, how are you going to do that? So that we have got a mandate on how to do those things. Otherwise, we commend what the members of that commission done, but we need to get more detail on that. Thank you.
Can I help so that we don't get stuck here? Can I just help and refer you to a page? Can I? Please, on that strategic plan, go to page 15. I'm choosing that page just. It's not that I just want to point something. Page 15 at the top says, in the short term, Party focus will be on strengthening the party, its structures, and leaders to improve performance in the 2019 polls, right? Then it says, how will we know we are on track in this short term? Then there's a box there that says post-Congress. In other words, after this. Instill awareness of the rights and responsibilities of COPE members towards South Africa, its constitution, and the party and their role towards working to defeat racism, sexism, social injustice, and other inadequacies. Then on the side, it says, develop and implement elections campaign targeting 3 to 5% of the votes. Improve communications and visibility of the party. Increase public awareness of COPE's vision and policies. Produced and campaigned for capable and professional public representatives to represent the party. So I just thought I must just reflect on those, because in essence, I think what the commission did out of those proposals is to accept what the strategic plan, the 5-year strategic plan is. That is why they are even saying that we must encourage provinces to go and develop their own out of this one. Right? So I'm just saying, it might be that concern which was raised, which is not, it's not the same as to say where does the responsibility lie, but going further as to how will we know that we have achieved what we said we want to do. So they are in those blocks, they are there. We have to monitor those things. And then we will then say, yes, we are doing what we said we want to do. Okay? Okay. So, is it on the same issue? No, I mean this one of where it lies and all those. Or is it something else? Okay.
My comrade Chair, you see, though the word amendments made, in other words, that is perfectly okay, provided those amendments or recommendations are provided us. Wherever, whatever recommendations I assume by the Commission, if we can add there that if we receive those amendments and those recommendations, I would respectfully suggest that that is a brilliant resolution, Comrade.
Okay. Let me start with the comrade here and then Comrade Rampedi at the end. The mic here in front.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, I'm compelled by the recommendation number C. To me, something is now missing because you cannot just speak about the compulsory education to the leadership and members, besides maybe talking about the budget of now that you will be using as a resource of conducting the compulsory education. To me, the budget part of it is missing. Or I recommend that there should be a budget for specifically for political education, which would be compulsory and which is strategic, of course, of growing the party. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. I looked at the house that the group is presenting, and I don't think I'm seeing that house for the first time. And I saw it in our documents. I want clarity. Clarity. Did the committee start looking at where we failed? What are the problems? Because we are a new party, but not that new party. If we have to start working on this, we had it this morning, that in all the provinces, we have our equipment, our everything is all over the show. And if you want to start building again, you have to say something about that. We have to resolve here what we are going to do regarding the equipment that is in the houses of people in the different provinces. That we need to do because you've got to clean this. And also, I want to check if you looked at the issue of consequence management. In this party, you do as you like, and nothing happens to you.
President, are the members of the commission noting all these other things? Please do, because we might need to respond. President.
Comrade Chair and Comrade, it is important that in order to do whatever we want to do, we must start by understanding the structures of our party. So we have a national structure, we have provincial structures, and perhaps you can add regional structures and municipal structures, which is local chapters. First of all, it is important that the recommendation says that we must adopt. What is the total plan, Comrade Kapamas? You recommended the adoption of a national strategy with amendments and whatever. You want to teach people something. Now, yesterday we elected a Congress National Committee, which is the lead structure that must monitor that we are implementing the resolutions taken here. Now, the members of the Congress National Committee, each one of them, will have to carry some responsibility. There'll be somebody responsible for political education. Somebody will be responsible for, in that political education, you may include when you talk about political education, what is it that we want to educate the members? And that person will have to be responsible for that. Somebody's got to be responsible for organizational development, to see to it that in the province A, B, C, you have CPCs, operating CPCs. You have to have, and all the work that has to be done, you develop those structures. When it is all said and done, we must be able to give, or the CNC must develop programs which each and every one of the heads of those policy things must go into each and every province, perhaps invite chairpersons and run them through a program to ensure that all of the chairpersons of our provinces know the same thing and are working in the same direction, of course taking into account the circumstances in their province. Then you have the organizational development of organizational structures. Whoever is in charge of that must make sure that there are people who are building those structures and call workshops or go into those provinces and do that. Now, all we need to do today is to adopt what is it we want the people to know in the provinces. And by adopting that thing there, CNC in the next meeting must identify the people that are going to do that in the various provinces. Who's going to be running political education or develop programs of political education so that in each and every province there are programs running. And CNC must be regularly checking on the comrades who are there that this is being done. And in the provinces, there must be public meetings called so that there is interaction between the party and the communities in the provinces. And periodically, the CNC must demand reports from whoever is supposed to be responsible for mass mobilization being those public meetings that you are calling in the provinces and things like that. So we need to look today, what do we want our people to be taught? What do we want them to be aware of, and so on. CNC, when we meet, we must be able to say now, Comrade so-and-so will be in charge of that, and that person working with the others in the provinces develop programs for that. I don't know whether that makes sense to what I'm saying to the comrades. It's got to be like that. It's got to be like that. If we go into KZN, we should be able to say, in the first month, all our comrades in that province were called to meetings, for instance, to discuss the land question, which the province will run. The regions must go from the province, the regions must go and do that, and from there the municipalities. Then we can say our leadership at provincial, at regional, and at municipal levels have all been taken through that. And perhaps culminate that with the public meetings, which maybe the deputy president can go and address or share with the people to check and satisfy ourselves that we have done that. And then that program must be run in all of the provinces. Then in the provincial, let me say this, the general secretary want to see to it that every province has got an administration that is running. And the provincial, the general secretary will call all the secretaries to check whether they have, if they have to open offices, have they opened offices, are those offices running, and so on and so on, and the people and the work that is being done in it. So we can know that the general secretary will be able to say that in province so-and-so, there is a running office, administration is efficient, in that province there are weaknesses of this nature, and interventions are made to correct that. In this way, we can call a CNC meeting anytime and say, can you give us a report in this province? What programs has the party run in your province, provincial secretary? And the provincial secretary can say, in this department that was done, in that department this was done, in that department, and the rest nothing has been done. Then we can hold accountable a member of the CNC who's supposed to run those programs. Why have they not been run in that provinces, in that province, when in provinces, 4 or 5 provinces is being done? And once you know where your organization is active and where it's not active, you are able to then to audit yourself and then report, and you don't worry about it when it's the 9th month of the year. We must start running with it. I hope that makes some sense, because it's a linkage. Today we are adopting only the policy things that you say we must do. But when the CNC meet, it must assign the tasks to the additional members of the Congress National Committee. You can't be a member of Congress National Committee and then you walk around wearing your title like a crown but you are not doing any work and you are not accountable for anything. It cannot be like that.
Thank you, President. GS will be the last one on this. Then we will go to vote.
Comrade Chairperson, the comrades, Congress must note that this document is in details. Unfortunately, we did not have the time for the Congress to share it all. But everything the President has said and a lot of comrades have said is captured here. What is left is for us to do what the documents say we must do. So the task of the CNC is to ensure that implementation plans are put in place. And what we are asking is that in your region, in your provinces, in your constituencies, it is your task to make sure that you then take what is here and start implementing in your province. So that when we ask for reports, we are not going to ask for reports for new things. What is here, the implementation of this 5-year strategy plan, is going to be our marching orders. So when we say reports, reports will have to be, how are you implementing this 5-year strategic plan?
Okay, thank you. I said the GS is the last on this issue. No, comrade, please let's not. Comrade Tom, nothing has changed, if I can put it that way. What the GS says is that many of the things that were raised are in here, and the President has elaborated the process in which that thing should happen and how we should account. What we have to do now, which of course takes us to what has been said, is we need to vote on the first proposal that the Commission proposes, that they request that the Congress should adopt the Strat Plan. There has been an indication of amendments that they have made, so we will have to capture those amendments. The CNC will look at that. It has been explained how the voting will happen for those who are supposed to vote. Right? So now, I'm going to open the voting on item 1, on the, what is that thing? The recommendation from the Commission. So remember what is said. One on the gadget is yes. 2 on the gadget is no. 3 on the gadget is abstain. Okay? Now you can vote. Yeah. Okay. We close the vote.
You press on this one, and then you press 1, and then okay, or you just press 1, because that 8 doesn't go away on my thing.
Yeah, just press the number that you are choosing, please, sir.
Okay, must I cancel now?
No, don't worry. The vote has come through.
When the vote closes, it will go away.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Sorry, sir, we have 150 keypads out.
Sorry?
We have 150 keypads out.
Okay.
I just wanted to know, are we going to stop the vote at 150? can I close it at 150, then we know all 150 people have voted, or?
So what you are asking is that currently we've got 150 people voting.
Exactly, we've got
Right.
146 votes in. So there's 4 people missing. You see what I'm saying? So, okay, 2 people.
Comrades, look, let's get this one straight. Even if you don't want to vote, rather press abstain.
Okay.
Okay? Press abstain if you feel you don't want this thing. Huh? Are we fine? Do you understand? All the people that have got the gadgets, let me tell you, if you have a gadget, we are expecting 150 people to vote. In other, 152. In other words, when we tally the numbers, whether it's an abstention or it's a no or it's a yes, it must give us that total. So please, if you have the gadget, vote. Okay? All right. Okay. Let's see what figure that thing gives us.
These are the results, okay? So
Yes.
we have just over 150 people voting. It's about 100.
So which means we are over 150 people that are voting.
Yes.
What
just
figure
over
is it?
152, okay? So what we've got here, we've got 143 people said yes, which is 94.1%, with 2% saying no, which is 2 people say no, which is 1.3%, and 7 people abstaining, which is 4.6%.
Okay. There's the result. Carried. Can you give us the second one? There's the recommendations. The slide. Right. B, it says each province must develop its own 5-year strategic plan in line with the national strategy because provinces have got their dynamics. No. It must be a secret ballot, a secret voting. Oh, okay. Now I'm opening the vote. Vote.
Comrades, do you agree that every province must develop its own strategy of implementation?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a question.
Now, going once, twice. We are still running short. Huh? Yeah, we are running short of 7 people who voted the first time and this time have not voted. Please, comrades, we need our numbers to tally. Don't be threatened by the word vote because in that vote it might mean you abstain. But press the key that gives abstain. Thanks. We are done. Thank you. Can you, there are the scores. Can you read out the scores?
All right, we have 92.1%, 140 voters for yes, 8 voters, 5.3% for no, 4 voters, 2.6% for abstain. Thank you.
Okay, let's go back to the recommendations. The last one. Political education must become compulsory for leaders and membership. No, don't tell me. The voting is opened. One, 2, 3. Close. Let's look at the figure. You are still not. It's fine. But I want you to close. You must rush. 4 more people to vote, please. We are still running short of 4 more people. 3. Comrades, just 1 second.
Comrade Chair, please, comrades, man, we are adults, ne? In voting, sometimes some of the people cannot make up their mind and they stay out of voting. That happens. It's important that at least a big number of the people that have voted. Now, if you are going to wait for one person, we will wait for a long time, only to find the person is not here. No, we are all here. Everybody can hear. It's time to vote now. And we must not vote with our mouths. Press here, and your vote will come out.
Comrade, can I suggest something? Can I suggest something that will... Can I suggest something? Can I... Hold on. All right, hold on. I'm going to suggest something. Once the figure goes above 45, and I count the 3, and there's no further voting, we take those as spoiled. All right? Yes. That's the question that I'm asking myself as well. So, comrades, please, this is my last request. Once you have been given that gadget, please use it. Use it. When we say vote, we are not saying agree. We just say press a button and express your feeling.
Can I also
All
add
right.
there, this device is 100% anonymous.
Please.
So your vote, I can't tell, no one can tell what you have decided to vote. So you don't have to fear what other people might have.
Yeah,
what
please. Don't consult the person next to you. Maybe this delay is caused by those who are consulting each other. Now, comrades, that's the first commission. The results are you able to give us the...
Yeah, sure. Okay. For yes, we have 142 votes, which is 93.4%. For no, we have 5 votes, which is 3.3%. For abstain, we have 5, which is 3.3%.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. And thanks to the commission and its members. Then we are going to move to the next commission. Are the people with the election manifesto ready now? Can somebody check? Are they ready? Are you? Please come. Yeah, I told them.
Yeah, no, right. Oh. Good afternoon again.
Hang on. Did you submit a
Yes.
copy of your? Okay.
You must just-
Comrades, your attention, please. Hurry and that. Sharp up
No,
there.
they must bring it here on the screen.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for them to.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chairperson. We were a given task by this House to go and come up with the manifesto, which we are going to, if you accept it, going to go with it to this coming election. And can you please? Yes. A COPE manifesto for 2019. It's, can you please roll it?
Yeah. Yeah, you've got a.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you have.
Hey, man, I'm behind. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Sad state of our nation. But, Chairperson, please help me here.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
No, but bona by bona.
Oh, yeah.
By bona.
Please put it right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, it's fine now. Yeah, thank you very much. Comrade, before I go through this, I will try to put what the resolution of our commission came up with. But I will request again that if it's something that I have left it, please, my team made in that commission to please add where did I didn't maybe put the slide there. The sad state of our nation. Today, 25 years since the dawn of democracy, we faced our gravest crisis as a nation, all of which is rooted in the corrupted political leadership, bad governance, and poor policy choices. Over the past decade, the supremacy of our Constitution and the rule of law have been trampled upon and weakened. A project to capture and loot from the state was led from our highest office, the presidency, under the protection of the ruling party. A policy framework that created conditions for economic growth and job creation was dismantled, and fiscal prudence was replaced by fiscal recklessness. wastage, and growing inefficiencies. Today, much of our state in all spheres of government remain captured and emaciated and open to abuse and corruption. Whereas those state entities which should protect society from corruption, wrongdoing, and the abuse of power cannot be trusted and relied upon to do so. Our fiscal dividend has been squandered, and many of our SOE hinder instead of facilitate growth and development. Our economy bleeds and stagnates with no end in sight. Unemployment has reached an endemic and unsustainable proportions. Gangs and criminals roam our streets, and many feel unsafe, insecure in their own homes. Above all, youth and the vulnerable have been condemned to a future characterized by joblessness, continued poverty and inequality, and failing service delivery across the country. Today we have a president who has violated his oath of office and a parliamentary under a majoritarian tyranny of the governing party that was found to have violated the Constitution. The trust placed in those elected to govern in our best interest has been betrayed. Should the crisis we face not be urgently turned around, we will soon face catastrophic consequences from which we may never recover. The removal of Zuma from the president has shown that the real problem with the ANC itself. It is corrupted beyond redemption. It cannot self-correct, and it cannot lead us out of the quagmire that it created. It can no longer be trusted and has lost its legitimacy to govern. The true extent of the treachery and the betrayal and the cost of the damage done becomes more stark and alarming with each passing day as more elevations are.
Comrades, you'll understand the screen here.
It's not.
The other sides where the sentences.
Yeah, that is why I'm struggling. Sorry for that, comrade.
That's why you will give a word which is almost close to the end of what you see.
Yeah, and I'm sorry for that. Yes, please. Still go. Is it fine? Okay, thanks, Comrade. I will repeat and read this slide because there was a lot of mistake. The removal of Zuma from the presidency has shown that the real problem lies with the ANC itself. It is corrupted beyond redemption. It cannot self-correct, and it cannot lead us out of the quagmire that it created. It can no longer be trusted and has lost its legitimacy to govern. The true extent of the treachery and betrayal and the cost of the damage done becomes more stark and alarming with each passing day as more revelation are unearthed. Had the concern that informed the establishment of COPE and our warning of growing greed and corruption, rotten governance for nefarious ends, and disrespect of a constitution and the rule of law being headed, we should be facing with crisis that we face today. South Africa needs a new alternative, new center. South Africa desperately needs change and renewed hope, new alternative, a new center. The reason and values which inform the establishment of COPE over a decade ago are more relevant today than they were at the time of the establishment. We need to renew our commitment to our constitutional order and to our collective vision of a just, equitable, united, and prosperous South Africa. We need ethical, bold, and brave, accountable, incorruptible, and progressive political leadership, willing and able to unite and galvanize all South Africans around a plan to reverse the damage done and to place us on a path towards a better life for all. COPE is part of this alternative of a new center. We believe that our immediate future lies in the establishment of coalition government, where necessary, locally, provincially, and nationally. Our plan. Our plan is to return our country to constitutional order and the rule of law. Reaffirm our founding vision as a nation as set out in our Constitution and the values that underpin it. Align and reform our electoral system with the Constitution, including to provide for the direct election of the president, as we have done it yesterday, comrade. You've seen that Congress of the People is the first political party that have done it. We were here, but people were voting at home. As some of us here where we are staying, we don't even know where is our MPLs or our MP. If one can say who's the MP, no one can tell me. Premiers and mayors to incorporate a constituency system in our national and provincial election, and to allow for the right of individual to stand for election. Ensure good and clean, corrupt-free, accountable, and progressive governance. Reform our policy environment to create conditions conducive for investment, economic growth, and job creation. Adopt measures to ensure inclusive and economic participation and to break the cycle of poverty and inequality, reinvigorate our places and system to educate and training to ensure the development of knowledge, innovation, and skill required for meaningful participation in economic and social activities, and for the attainment of our national development objective. Reduce the size of cabinet and reconfigure and right-size governing the administration. If I may elaborate on that one. We know how big is our cabinet. I think it's 70 something, including, or 72, including the deputies. But still, we have to look the staff under that minister, because they've got also an administration in Pretoria. They have bodyguards, they have people there. So as Congress of the People, we are saying reduce that maybe to 25, that you can govern better. Big countries like India, like China, they don't have more than even 50 ministers. They are less than that. And they've got close to a population of 1 billion, and we are less than 56, more than that, you see. So we think that is the money that can come back to the development of this country and the upliftment of life of the South African. Establish a capable state and professional civil service that transcends electoral change. Ensure responsible land reform and the provision of housing opportunities. COPE does not support the arbitrary expropriation of land without compensation. I think that you saw yourself how the president was attacked. And not to say that he was attacked because the president said that he's not going to support that. Because he was attacked because they have seen that if this thing is not going on their way, they don't have money even to implement that. Money is gone at the fiscus. Ensure the implementation of political party funding reform. Strengthen and ensure the independence of our institutions which promote, protect, advance of the constitutional democracy. Revive our collective sense of common nationhood. Ensure the coherent implementation of the National Development Plan, and rehabilitate our international standing based on human rights approach. Our value proposition, we believe in the supreme of our constitutional and the rule of law, that the South Africa belongs to all who live in it, united, our diversity, that the injustice of the past must be healed, that we must ensure the achievement of equality and the dignity of all, that our Bill of Rights is sacrosanct, and that all are equal before the law. We believe in an open and democratic society in which the government is based on the will of the people. In effective, transparent, accountable, and coherent government. In a parliament and legislature that will be scrutinized and oversee executive action and hold the executive to account, which is not happening now. We promise that where we govern or co-govern, we shall do so ethically and progressively, mindful that our responsibility is to secure the well-being of all the people of South Africa, to ensure a better life for all, and to free the potential of each person. Give South Africa a fresh start. But, comrade, before I step down, there is a slide that maybe we didn't include here. Maybe it was a mistake. But I would like to say, we came across that, if I'm not wrong, it was early this year. You'll correct me. The president was talking about the refugee camp, where the South Africans, that maybe those who are coming illegally in this country, we must have a refugee camp where they can stay. I'm saying this, and I want to say, and please, I'm here for corrections. If we, as a Congress of the People, we don't stand firm when we propose our policies maybe to South African, we will lose. Why we are saying that? Look what happened to the Red Devils, the EFF. They proposed that they will expropriate land without compensation. People ran and supported them. Even the ANC said, yes, we'll do that. But we stay firm and say, no, we are not going to support that. But let me tell you again, and make a typical example. When you contest for the vote, or for voters to vote for you, you must come up with something that people will talk every day and ask, why is COPE going this way? I will tell you another example. In America, when that man that says, or most of people, they said he's mad, that's Trump, he made it clear to the voters, you vote my party, I will build the wall. As we speak, the wall is going to be built. So COPE must have a stand when it comes to refugees and say, foreigners that are legal in this country, and say, South Africa, and once you vote us in power, we are going to put soldiers in any border of South Africa to protect you. And we will be creating jobs for these young South Africans who are unemployed. We will take them to be soldiers. And to be soldier doesn't mean you carry a gun. You're going to be a doctor. You can be an engineer. You can be anything that you want to be there. So COPE must take this stand and say, we will make that, I know they will say we are xenophobic. Let them bring it. Because Sudan is doing that. America is doing that. Why? South Africa is not United Nations of all these African countries. I thank you.
Thank you, Comrade Lefu. Just for all commissions, please don't report something that is your own sentiments when you come from the commission. You must report what you have agreed upon in the commission. Don't report to us what you failed to present and convince your commission members. Then you use the platform to give us your views. But having said that, we'll ignore this last part of the report and concentrate on what has been reflected on the boards. Okay? Comrade GS? Just press the button.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
No, they said I must press it, and I pressed it. Comrade, I'm going to appeal to Congress. what these comrades have presented is a nice long preamble. It doesn't say anything about unfortunately, it doesn't say anything about manifesto. A manifesto must address real problems and must provide real solutions. We have got to be able to sit down here and say, what are the challenges facing our people? What are the issues our people once addressed? And we as COPE, what are we going to do to address them? You don't need... Oh.
There's a point of order.
No, I don't want to interrupt you.
Press the...
I thought before we comment on this, you should give the members of the commission to add or subtract, and then we can then all of us follow. But I'm not interrupting you.
Yeah. No, what I wanted to do, comrade, because I thought before people start adding, because people should be constructive, I should actually lay the basis. But the members of the committee can add.
All right. Comrade Dennis.
Said there, see.
So, yeah. Comrades, let's first start with the committee members. People who were in that commission, is there anything to add? Anything that you feel was not emphasized, it was not clarified, before we can then allow people to interact with the report? You can use that.
Thank you, Chairperson and comrades. Because of your time, Comrade Lefu may not have finished that which was written, okay? I think that needs to be emphasized. Yes, there are what the General Secretary here is proposing. Those particular points are here, okay? What Comrade Lefu was able to give is the present milieu, what is happening in the country, the mistakes which are there, what the government, present government is doing, etc., etc. Now, having recognized all those things, what the Commission says is what is the plan to solve all those particular problems. I cannot go into each one of them. Why? Because we have here more than 30 of them. And obviously, if you've got to take all those to the people in our country, you may not be able to have them finalized. People don't have a chance altogether to read all those. Now, what are we going to do? That's the first question. But then the second point, Comrade Chairperson, we have there our value propositions, what we are going to do given all these kind of problems. Now, Comrade Lefu could not finalize because of the time that is there. And those value propositions, there are more than 10 of them. Now, what is going to be done? With all this that has been proposed, written, etc., we say that we must look into a situation where there will be at least, you know, a paper, just small piece of paper, which will be just small like this, which will be taken to the people of South Africa as we campaign, okay? Because people do not sit and read and so on. Now you'll be able to take this to the people from house to house, to the stations, to the where people are getting into taxis, etc. under the, under the doors of their houses, etc. Now it will be here, but that which the president will be giving to the people of our country is, a very long, but then we shall look into how we condense this. But then it's quite long, I must say. We're talking here about, about 6 pages, okay? And what we are going to do then is to give you the copies of this, General Secretary, all the people here, but make sure that, yes, indeed, we're able to move forward. So everything that you comrades are or may want to raise has been encapsulated into this document. Okay. And we so agree. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, DP. Comrades, just 1 second. Just 1 second. Comrades, I just want to put this as a direction. We need to vote on a recommendation. You understand? Now, I understand the list. At least, instead of having that other discussion, we should have had the pointers of what COPE says it's going to do, so that we vote on that and say, yes, we agree. Now, I don't know. I'll need direction from the Congress because I don't know what you'll be agreeing on because you don't have it. Comrade Tom, and then it would be... Sorry? You are a member of the committee. You want to add to this? Okay, Comrade Tom, let a member of the committee add.
Thank you, Chair. Because of the time, I actually indicated that we should have spent the whole day today talking on the manifesto and the election strategy and all the steps going forward. We should have done that because this is the work before the So to go to what happened there, we have 2 documents. We have 2 documents, the one that has been presented here, and then we have this other thick document that addresses what the GS is saying about what we need to do about education, about what. What we need to do is, I am not sure what to do with this whole document because there are all those suggestions we are making here in this thick document, and I don't think we'll finish that. So what we tried to do was to say, through you, Comrade DP, was to say we just need time to condense what we have here. We just need time to condense what we have here. What we did here was to prepare for the manifesto launched by the president tomorrow. It's just a suggestion.
Comrades, maybe can I just repeat what I said? So before what I'm saying is we need to vote on specific course of action. If we all understand. All these explanations are fine, but we need to vote on a course of action. Now, if they are 10 or 15, can we specifically have each one of them and see if we agree with that particular one? Comrade Tom.
Thank you, sir. Comrade Chair, I don't know whether this is a, I thought maybe what the commission is bringing forth, it's something that still has to be refined by CNC, because I don't see their proposals coming closer to the ideology of the party, which is social democracy. So we still have to take their recommendation, take them to CNC to refine our manifesto. But having said that, we have to, as a person that comes from Gauteng, I would like to see a manifesto that speaks about e-tolls. I would like to see a manifesto that speaks about reduction of taxations. I want to see a manifesto that speaks to bread and butter issues. And I also want to highly commend them on what they have said, regarding the issues of SOEs. And I want to bring this to the plenary to say, you know, the way people are stealing from SOEs, I think as Congress of the People, we should bring a recommendation that says, if you are found stealing from SOEs, that has to be treated as treason. You know, we just have to maybe come as strong as that, because I think that will definitely make people to agree with us. Thank you.
Comrades, just hang on, just put your hands down, because we will go around in circles. All that I'm saying is, we need to vote on specific recommendations that are going to be our course of action. Do we agree on that? Yes. So can we then request the commission to because all these things about whether that addresses social democracy or what, in our response to what has been recommended, we can reflect that. So this is why I'm saying, let's go to the issue that we need to vote on. Comrade Hlekwe and then Comrade Dennis.
Thanks, Comrade Chair. Comrade Chair, there is a document that the comrades don't want to present, and that document, I know for a fact it will address some of the points that you want us to discuss. And if it can be, Comrade Fred can present that document, we go page by page adopting and amending where we want to amend. That will give us a direction. This other one, I don't think it's a manifesto. And we're talking of launching that manifesto tomorrow. And that document is there. Can Comrade Fred present that document to the whole plenary, because the commission has not dealt with that document. And money was put in preparing for that document by the Northern Cape. Please, Comrade.
There was one point of order there, over there, before you raised it, before I said to you, just hang on. Are you fine, Comrade Dennis? Oh.
Chairperson, to be honest, a manifesto is a weapon that you use in a war. A manifesto must be straightforward, must attract the voters out there. There are many people out there who can't decide who to vote for. You know, I am listening every day to analysts, political analysts. You see, people are angry with the big three political parties, the ANC, DA, and EFF. And they want and look for a new home, a political party that they can vote for. But now, if we don't give that direction and that attraction, we are not going to get the necessary votes. Chairperson, I fully support what you are saying. Now, my proposal will be, Chair, let the commission, let us excuse the commission from the plenary. Let them go outside and then put those recommendations one by one so that when we vote, we know what we are voting for. Thank you very much.
Just hold on. Hold on.
Comrade Chair, a point of order is this. The commission was given a time to sit down and do the work that they have done. the chairperson stands there, will say to us, is there any member in that commission who wants to add? And then after that, he gives an opportunity to all of us to add what is missing on what the commission is presenting. But comrades, to say, here is my point of order. To say there is a comrade who's got a document there, and the other comrade will say that constitution was supposed, or that document was supposed to be having A, B, and C, and D. Why didn't these comrades go to that commission if they have an interest? It means, comrades, we are not building each other. Let's give the commissions time to report. We add if we want to add. We vote. Let's not delay this thing, comrades.
Comrades, can I, you know, earlier on in the other sessions, I requested the comrades to listen and follow the trend of the discussions. Now, if you followed what happened in this commission, is that there was a presentation, and then the members of the commission said, well, in as much as you have had this presentation, there are these other aspects which are a lot that have not been presented to you, right? Now, the issue is, we need to come to a point that we must vote. And I'm saying, so far where we stand, the commission has not been able to tell us what to vote for. You understand? So, what I'm expecting of you, which I thought we would make it easier, this is why I was saying, the commission, and deliberately I wanted that the commission should present these recommendations that they are making, these recommendations that were not presented. They must present them here so that we vote on them. And then we get over the matter. Are we together, comrades? Because there's a portion that the commission itself says has not been presented to the plenary. I don't know why the hands. Hang on.
Chairperson, I rise on a point of order in the sense that Comrade Bloom made a suggestion. And yes, you as a chairperson, you should have called for seconders for Comrade Bloom so that we can be able to second. So now there's another discussion. Comrade Bloom's suggestion has been brushed aside. So I therefore call that, can we please get seconders for what Comrade Bloom suggested? If they are counters, they will counter against that one. I pause, Chairperson.
Comrades, Comrade Bloom confirmed what I said, and I've repeated it again. Yes, I said, let's request the commission to give us these issues that are missing. All right, Comrade Bloom, can you make your recommendation again?
So that they must come with the recommendations that we are talking, to vote on those recommendations. That's my proposal.
There's a recommendation. Yeah, there's a recommendation. Any seconder to the recommendation? Comrade Bula.
Chair.
Comrade Bula.
Chair, I stand to second the recommendation. And I want us to acknowledge the work done by comrades. But we're saying they should restructure their work in a manner that will actually become a program of action that we can adopt. And additional to that, Chair, I want to say they can use the document so mentioned by Comrade Sheko there. Because that document conference is the document that was adopted by CNC, and we are all surprised why the manifesto, the draft manifesto that was supposed to lead or
inform the commission was not used by commission. So to have all the work that has been done by COPE, we're saying when the commission sits there, again, it must also encroach and bracket up the work that was done by Comrade Fred. That's what I suggest here, in seconding Comrade.
Is there anyone countering the suggestion that we must allow the commission time to go and refine their presentation? Is there anyone, comrades, is there anyone that has a counter proposal to what has been proposed and seconded, that we allow the commission to go and refine their work? Is there any counter? None. So now we allow the members of that commission to go and refine their work. Comrade, sit down. No, sit down. No, sit down. No, sit down. Sit down. Sit down, comrade. For as long as I've taken a decision that for as long as you don't listen to me, I'm going to ignore you. So, can the members of that commission go and refine their work? And please, how much time do you need? Okay, I'm giving you 20 minutes. Go and refine your work. Members of that commission, go and refine your work.